Hello Year 5, welcome to Monday's English, where we are going to carry on looking at non-fiction and specifically the formal and informal language that we started exploring last Friday. So, your starter, which one of these sentences is formal and which is informal? Now remember the features of formal and informal language that you are looking for. I will read them out for you, and then you can pause me if you need a moment to think. Okay, it is without doubt that Liam is a remarkable father. Is that formal or informal? I reckon Liam's a wicked dad. So I reckon Liam's a wicked dad. Is that formal or informal? What do you think? Now I'm hoping that you spotted that our first one is formal. It is without a doubt that Liam is a remarkable father. He is remarkable. That's a nice bit of precise word choice here. And we're using father, which is a more formal way of saying dad. And also, I hope you spotted that we also have Liam is without the contraction, whereas down here we've got Liam's. That stands for Liam is, but it's the more informal way of writing it. What other features did you spot in the informal writing here? Well, I've got, let me find my pen again. I think, Liam's a wicked dad. He's super wicked, he's very cool, and I've got an exclamation mark here, which is more informal than formal. Did you spot that? Okay, now for your starter challenge. Can you rewrite the informal one in your own words so it sounds more formal? So I've done it up here. It is without a doubt that Liam is a remarkable father. Now I would like you to rewrite, I reckon Liam's a wicked dad, in your own words, but make it more formal. And remember, if you need help getting started, you've got Friday's formal language help sheet to help you out as well. So pause me here and have a go. If you want to challenge yourself, have a go at the extension. Can you start a sentence with, it is believed? Do you think that's going to be formal or informal? Yeah, it's going to be a formal sentence, and I also want you to include the word definitely. So tell me something you definitely know to be true using formal language. And when you're ready, unpause me and we will move on in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now today we are going to be looking at nature documentaries. I wonder if you have watched a nature documentary at home. Perhaps you've watched the most famous person who does nature documentaries, which is David Attenborough. Do you know who David Attenborough is? I really hope you do. He is fantastic. So, on the home learning page is this link here. Can you follow the link on the home learning page? Go and watch the video. It's only 3.5 minutes long. If I were you, I might even watch it twice because the first time you might be overwhelmed with the cuteness of what you are about to watch. And then watch it again for me and have a think about what language is being used. What kind of language is being used and why do you think the people who wrote the voiceover decided to write it in that style? Okay, so pause me here, go and watch that video and then come back and find me. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I think my favourite moment was when the polar bears were sliding down the slippery slope. I thought that was adorable. What kind of language did you hear? The voiceover, so the nature documentary has someone explaining what's happening on the screen. And it uses lots of describing imagery so that you can see what is going on. But what kind of language is it? Well, hopefully you spotted that it's very formal language. How can we tell? Let's see if I can spell language correctly. No, I got it right the first time. How can we tell that it's formal? Well, I spotted some complex sentences in there. Lots of detail. What else did you find? I found some precise vocabulary in there as well. What else makes you think it is formal? Well, we are using lots of formal phrases. It's not very colloquial, which means it's not very how you talk to your friends. There's no contractions. It's all very formal and very informative. It was telling us loads about the polar bears and about how they were taking their first steps after being born under the snow. Amazing. Now, today we are going to be writing our own voiceovers for a nature documentary with a twist. Okay, on the next page, I'm going to be reading the Waggle in my best David Attenborough style voiceover. So I want you to listen to that and read along with me and see if you can spot some of the skills that we've pulled out. Life on the moon. For centuries, it has been publicly accepted by citizens all over the world that it is simply impossible that there could be life in the darkest depths of space. However, in groundbreaking new research from the BBC, this has now been dramatically disproved. Without a doubt, life certainly does exist on the moon, Earth's only natural satellite. As our cameramen set up base on the surface of such a magnificent celestial being, they did not need to wait long before they caught a glimpse of something marvellous. Creeping steadily from the protection of a particularly sheltered crater, a spectacular creature with eyes wider than Saturn's rings begins to emerge. In fact, it appears just as surprised by the signs of life that are unfolding in front of it. What do you think? Yes, we are going to be writing a voiceover for a nature documentary set on the moon, where we are going to pretend that we have found life on the moon. What skills have you spotted? Let's have a look at the very first section here. It says, for centuries, it has been publicly accepted by citizens all over the world that it is simply impossible that there could be life in the darkest depths of space. Well, firstly, that's a really long, complex sentence, isn't it? It's got multiple parts and lots of information. What else have we spotted? We've got words like citizens, which means people, the people all over the world, but it's a nice formal way of referring to people. We start off with for centuries. We've got a really interesting sentence starter there. We've got a comma there as well. For centuries, it has been publicly accepted by citizens all over the world that it is simply impossible that there could be life in the darkest depths of space. That's a nice bit of precise vocabulary there. That's lots of ways we can tell that this is formal language. What else do you notice? Have a think about the rest of the Waggle. Pause me here. See if you can pull out some of the really specific skills that I've used. And also, have a think about what tense we are writing in today. And why do you think we might be writing in that tense? Okay, I'm going to pause as well so that I can fill in the rest of the skills that I've spotted from the Waggle and we can compare. So pause me here and then we will share in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! I wonder if you've managed to find all the skills that I've pulled out of the Waggle here. Now you can see I've colour-coded it by using purple for precise vocabulary and formal language. My sentence starters I've underlined in blue. I've used lots of ice-based sentence starters, which I know you'll be able to do as well. And then my green, I wonder if you can spot what skill I've underlined there. It's one of our most recent skills. Yes, it is embedded clauses. I've got a couple of cheeky embedded clauses in there as well. So the next thing for us to do is write the next 2 lines of the documentary. And we need to use formal language and any other skill that we would like to show off. Okay, so normally in class, you would be helping me with this, you would be giving me suggestions, and we would workshop it but I'm going to have to pretend that I'm talking to you in my head. It's a very fun place to be. And we'll do an example here, ready for you to go on. If you want to challenge yourself, feel free to pause me, have a go on your own, and then compare your next 2 lines with mine. All right, guys, let's have a look. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read over my last sentence to make sure it follows on. Creeping steadily. Oh no, I'm going to go down here. In fact, it appears just as surprised by the signs of life that are unfolding in front of it. Okay, so thinking how to start my sentence, I'm going to remember my I space. I haven't used an ED yet, so I think I might use an ED to describe this creature. I think I might put confused. Can I type? There we go. Confused, the creature. Perfect moment to put in an embedded clause because I can add extra information about the creature. Ooh, small. I want to say it's quite small and cute, but I don't want to use small. I want to use something more precise. Minuscule. I like minuscule. I think I'll use that. Minuscule and mouse-like. Remembering my second sandwich comma. Confuse the creature. Minuscule and mouse-like. Oh, what am I going to say next? Wriggles. It wiggles wavering ears like a satellite. Nice. Simile. Satellite. Searching for information in the stars. I think that's some nice imagery there of the mouse-like ears. Wavering, trying to work out what is going on with this camera crew in front of it. How can I start my next sentence? Now I'm thinking about the formal language. I remember this one was on our formal language help sheet on Friday, so I think I might use nevertheless, it appears friendly. Nevertheless, it appears friendly as it, what's it going to do? How is it going to move? As it scurries or steps tentatively, and that means quite scared, it's quite nervous, but it's going to have a go and come and see us towards our crew. Now, before I write any more, I'm definitely going to go back and I'm going to read over what I've written, just to make sure it says what I wanted to say. Confused, the creature, minuscule and mouse-like, wriggles wavering ears like a satellite searching for information in the stars. Nevertheless, it appears friendly as it steps tentatively towards our crew. Okay, so hopefully you've managed to follow on. If you gave yourself a challenge, do your sentences have the same sort of skills as mine? Remember, we are using precise vocabulary like this. We're putting in some extra skills like our simile here, like our embedded clause here, and we are writing in present tense. Now, why are we writing in present tense? That is something we were thinking about earlier. Well, we're writing in present tense because we are narrating what is happening in this very moment in the documentary that you are watching. So making sure we are using present tense in our writing today. Okay, your task today. Can you write a script for a nature documentary about life on the moon? You should include formal language. Everyone has to include formal language using I-space sentence starters and precise vocabulary and every other formal language skill that we've been learning so far. Then your challenge, which most of you should be able to do, is add in embedded clauses, adding in that extra information and extending those sentences. And your golden challenge today, this will blow my socks and Mrs. Elmore's socks off. Can you add in a bonus skill? Some embedded clauses, some figurative language. Can you wow us with a Year 5 level skill? Remember, beautiful presentation, paragraphs, and at least 12 to 16 lines. Lastly today, I really want you to focus on your editing. Be punctuation police to yourself. Check you're using that formal voice and your spellings. Can you catch those marvellous mistakes, those SPGs, before we do?